Now let's look at the typical campaign management process flow. No matter whether it's origination campaign or account management campaign, they follow some common steps, and they are very important in terms of the campaign quality management because we are dealing customers financial information. Definitely, we don't want to make any mistake. Okay, so here are the key steps. At the beginning, when the campaign is initiated, we need to determine what's the criteria for the credit marketing campaign, right? Exactly which customers we target. There are a few stakeholder teams that need to get involved. At the beginning, we have marketing. So they usually have a particular tactic in mind, a certain customer in mind for a particular campaign, right? For example, balance transfer, or brand new credit card offers or loan offers. So then there is an input from product team. Also, risk team, very important. What's the risk score cutoff and other criteria? Modeling team, if they are engaged to develop a model, right? For example, the response model or even a potential credit model. They need to be involved. Then you have legal and compliance. So they need to be involved for sure to make sure that all the campaign design is fully compliant with regulation and the legal terms. Okay, so here are the main stakeholders. So after discussion, they have a set of campaign criteria. Everybody reviews that, sign off. Then they move into the campaign production phase. In campaign production phase, usually there's a campaign production team. Maybe they're part of marketing, maybe they are standalone team. Maybe they call the MIS. Doesn't matter. So their main function is to follow the campaign criteria that has been agreed upon by everyone. So they need to extract a list of customers. So if they have access to all the data elements required, great. Sometime because there are different data silos, they might not have access to some data elements that risk team requires to use. So in that case, risk team needs to cut a file for risk eligible population. Then they pass on to campaign production team. Then campaign production team will filter down the list further. If the modeling team develops a model, a score, for example, that score is not available to campaign production team in a given data warehouse environment, again, modeling team has to deliver that file to campaign production. So there's some file transfer depending on where the organization is in terms of the data environment and maturity of different campaign programs. Once the campaign production file is available, then we move on to the campaign validation stage. This is very important. It's crucial because there are all kinds of mistakes that happened if without proper validation. So here's the best practice. Within campaign production team, there's at least one more person needs to review the output file against the criteria. Some lenders, they even use two validators, right? So you can never be too careful. Then marketing, they want to do validation, probably just check all the name, address, also the marketing creative, whether they are mapped to the right customer. Product team probably wants to review as well. Sometimes marketing does that on behalf of product team. Risk team needs to validate. Their main focus is the risk criteria. Okay, so they don't care too much about the others. Make sure that all the scores, they are above the cutoff, all the exclusions, they are applied correctly. Modeling team, if their score is getting used, and especially if it's the first time, they want to make sure that their score is used correctly. Believe it or not, there are times that the score is delivered perfectly, but the campaign production team somehow misinterpret the value, how to use the score. So we should make the whole campaign is futile, right? So validation, very important. All the major stakeholders, they need to be involved to reduce the likelihood of sending a wrong file or with wrong format. After the validation, so then the campaign file can be dropped with the vendor. So in production, so campaign production team and the vendor usually they perform some further production testing. The file usually goes out as a direct mail, could be an email. Some vendors use one vendor to manage both mail and email. Some they use different vendors. So then there's more work to do, right? More validation. Then you also need to get some samples, right? The real production mail and email. Just review everything, make sure everything's okay. So here's the campaign management process flow.